Apple is releasing its new Stage Manager feature with iPadOS 16 for M1 iPads and on the Mac with macOS Ventura to make focusing on tasks and transitioning between apps and windows easier and faster than before. Follow this video to learn about the feature and more about it that you don't know yet. Design. The iPad Air's design stands out because it adds to its 10.9-inch Liquid Retina display a maximum brightness of 500 nits. By adjusting the brightness and color of the displays, LED panels and Apple's True Tone technology offer a comfortable viewing experience, regardless of the lighting. They also support the second-generation Apple Pencil if you need a stylus. The USB-C ports, speakers, Touch ID scanners, and connections for a Magic Keyboard are all the same on both the newer and older iPad Air models. The 12-megapixel camera at the back of the new Air also remains unaltered. We'll talk more about cameras in the coming days. Consider subscribing to our channel for the most in-depth evaluations and comparisons. While you're at it, enable post notifications so that you'll be the first to learn when we post. There are numerous new color schemes that Apple has introduced. There are many hues available for the iPad Air, including rose gold, silver, space gray, sky blue, and green. The iPad mini 2019 is only offered in a single shade of gray, in contrast to the iPad Air 2022, which comes in various hues. The design of the new iPad Air was adequate to avoid the need for significant hardware updates 2 years after its release.
Impressive design.
Performance. The iPad Air contradicts the cliché, "You can't teach an old dog new tricks." Apple's M1 processor, an ARM-based 8-core CPU, is concealed beneath the distinctive glass and metal chassis. Apple's M1 chips are up to 60% faster and more powerful than the A14 processor featured in the 2020 iPad Air, compared to their Bionic equivalents. Considering that both iPads come standard with 8GB of RAM, this is a significant performance boost. We'll all agree that the performance on a device is less enjoyable if the battery life is terrible. But is it on the iPad Air 5? We'll tell you more about that later in the video. Most people will not notice a performance difference between the M1 and A14 Bionic when browsing, watching YouTube videos, or using social media. The processing gap becomes evident using graphically intensive software, such as 4K video editors, 3D racing games, augmented reality, or multitasking. Due to its M1 processor, the 2022 iPad Air may compete with the more expensive iPad Pro. On the iPad Air, 64GB and 256GB of storage are available. Given the large file sizes we deal with these days, this does feel like a push towards 256GB for most people. The entry level would be far better if it was 128GB. More people surely would go for this.
That's a good thing.
Camera. It's rare that the camera on a tablet, much less an iPad, is a major selling point. Apple mentioned the improved front-facing camera of the new iPad Air. So how much will it cost to have these on the tablet? Let's find out later on in the video. A 12-megapixel camera has replaced the 12-megapixel ultra-wide camera on the front and back. To use Apple's webcam capability that tracks and follows your face as you walk around, the new iPad's camera has a broader field of view than the 7-megapixel FaceTime HD camera on the older model. Both FaceTime chats and presentations can benefit from this. In addition, both iPads can be used for ordinary point-and-shoot photography to capture 4K video, making them suitable for videography. Battery. The 2020 and 2022 iPad Airs may last up to 10 hours on Wi-Fi and 9 hours on a cellular data network, according to Apple's website. Apple prefers to gloss over important details like battery size and capacity. Comparing the two, we came up with results that were very close to each other. ZDNet contributor Jason Cipriani reported no issues utilizing the iPads for an entire workday while linked to the Magic Keyboard. On the other hand, the new iPad's M1 CPU has some advantages. With its improved power efficiency and simple control over professional-grade programs, a little longer battery life is expected. Both iPad Air models have a 20-watt charger if you need to top up your battery at some point. Price. The iPad Air 5th generation is sold at the same price as the previous version, despite its many improvements. The 64GB model cost $599. Once again, If you're shopping for iPads in a retail location, as a result of the release of the all-new Air, many retailers and websites have lowered the price of the 2022 model to clear out existing stock. iPad Air 2020 currently retails for $469, a $130 discount, although it's unclear whether this price will remain this low until the product is discontinued. Take into account the following 3 things while deciding whether or not to upgrade to the new iPad Air 5G, Center Stage, and M1 2020. iPad Air 2022 is the best option if you're looking for an iPad that can handle any task and is future-proof. However, if connectivity isn't important to you and all you want is a basic iPadOS experience, the iPad Air is a better value. Alternatives to consider. Still undecided about which iPad to purchase? Additionally, you might want to think about the ZDNet tested tablets. iPad Pro 2021. One of the best performing Apple tablets is the iPad Pro range. It boasts a better camera system and a 120Hz refresh rate display than the previous generation, which shares the same M1 CPU. 11-inch and 12.9-inch models are both readily accessible. If you want to upgrade your iPad, but can't do without the Touch ID sensor, the Apple iPad Pro is an option, 10.2-inch. The iPad Air 2021 model can still fulfill tablet responsibilities and daily activities, but it lacks as much visual appeal as previous models. Samsung Galaxy Tab S8. It's possible that you would find greater utility in using an Android tablet. The Samsung Galaxy Tab S8, which has an 11-inch display with a 120Hz refresh rate, 128GB of storage, which is twice as much as the iPad Air's base model, and compatibility with the millions of apps available in the Google Play Store, is one of the possibilities that are both lighter and thinner. The S Pen stylus has a mountable variant included in the packaging. Even while the M1 is a great upgrade that substantially improves the performance of the iPad Air 5, some features are only available on the iPad Pro. There are a few features that are not available on the iPad Air, such as the Thunderbolt port, which enables faster data transfer speeds, the ProMotion display, which improves the graphics and makes the screen much more fluid, and the superior speaker array, which is louder than the Air, or simply more storage options. Why don't you look at our video on Stage Manager, Apple's innovative technique of arranging the windows of application? Because we think it's interesting, we thought we'd pass that information along to you. Watch this video, iPadOS 16 Stage Manager. What you don't know yet. Thank you for watching. We'll see you another time.